unaware that his pregnant wife's 3 billionaire brothers were watching. Marcus Drake turned their anniversary party into a public execution. He ordered his mistress to humiliate his wife while nearly 1,000 guests looked on. The grand Meridian Ballroom shimmered under crystal chandeliers, bathed in warm golden light. But beneath the beauty, something vicious was taking place. Marcus stood at the center of it, all polished, powerful, and completely heartless, his voice sliced through the music as he pointed straight at his wife. "Do it, Scarlett. Pour it all over her. Let everyone see who actually belongs by my side." He didn't lower his voice. He wanted the room to hear. He wanted her to feel it. Scarlett slowly lifted the crystal punch bowl, savoring every second. Isabella Drake stood frozen, one hand instinctively shielding her 6-month pregnant belly. The champagne-colored gown she'd spent weeks choosing was already torn at the hem. Around her, guests watched in horrified fascination. Some laughed uncomfortably. Others raised their phones, hungry for a viral moment. "Marcus, we're having a baby," Isabella whispered, her voice trembling but steady enough to carry. "I'm your wife. How can you let her do this to me?" Her words were full of fear, love, and disbelief all at once. Marcus laughed a sharp, icy sound. He looked at her with annoyance, not regret. "Wife, you were just a stepping stone, Isabella, a connection I needed while I built my empire. Scarlett is my equal, my future, and you," he paused, letting the silence sting. "You're the mistake I'm finally fixing," turning to the crowd like a man finishing a performance. He raised his glass. "Cheers, everyone, you're witnessing the end of my biggest burden." The bowl tipped. Freezing liquid drenched Isabella's hair, face, and dress. She gasped as shock hit her body, and her unborn daughter kicked hard as if reacting to the cruelty. Isabella wrapped her arms around her stomach, shaking, while laughter echoed through the room. Some guests looked away in shame, but no one stepped in. "Look at her," Scarlett sneered, running her fingers through Marcus's hair. "Did you really think a man like Marcus would stay with someone so ordinary?" As the room blurred, memories crashed into Isabella's mind. 7 years earlier, Marcus had been a struggling MBA student working at a coffee shop, reciting poetry between shifts. He told her she was the first person who truly believed in him. She introduced him to her brother's business connections, stood by him through every failure, and ignored every warning. When her brother Aiden questioned Marcus's ethics, Isabella chose Marcus. She cut off her brothers, changed her number, and walked away from the Harrington name to prove she didn't need protection. Standing there soaked and shaking, she finally understood the cost of that choice. "I lied," Marcus said casually, when she begged him to remember their past. "I said whatever I needed to get what I wanted." Scarlett laughed until the ballroom doors slammed open. The music died instantly. Silence spread as 3 men entered the room. Aiden Harrington walked in first, tall and furious, his eyes locking onto his soaked, trembling sister. Grayson followed, calm and unreadable, already sizing up every person in the room. Miles came last, phone in hand, typing without pause. Isabella's heart nearly stopped. Her brothers were there. Aiden slipped off his jacket and gently draped it over her shoulders. The warmth shattered her composure. "I'm sorry," she whispered. "We'll talk later," he said quietly. "Right now, you're safe." As Grayson guided Isabella toward the exit, Marcus finally understood who he was facing. The confidence drained from his face. Miles looked up from his phone and spoke evenly. "We've been watching. Live stream. 3 million viewers." Panic rippled through the crowd. "I just bought this hotel," Miles continued. "Security answers to me now." Aiden stepped forward, his voice calm but deadly. "You humiliated my pregnant sister because you thought she was alone." Marcus tried to argue lawyers, money, influence, but it was too late. Accounts were frozen, deals collapsed, evidence of fraud, tax evasion, and bigamy surfaced within minutes. The truth spilled out in front of everyone. Sirens wailed outside as FBI agents flooded the ballroom. Marcus broke. "Please, I'll fix this." Aiden leaned in close, his voice meant only for Marcus. She was never alone. The handcuffs snapped shut. Outside, Isabella sat wrapped in a blanket in the back of her brother's hypercar. Her baby was safe, but her chest felt empty. "I thought I deserved it," she whispered. "That's how abusers work," Grayson said softly. "They make you feel isolated." "We never stopped loving you," Aiden added. 6 months later, Charlotte Rose Harrington was born in a quiet hospital room, surrounded by 3 uncles who loved her without limits. Marcus Drake was serving the first year of a long prison sentence. Scarlett Hayes disappeared under a new name. And Isabella finally understood something simple and true. Sometimes the greatest love isn't the kind that sweeps you off your feet. Sometimes it's the steady, patient love of people who wait for you to come home and welcome you back like you never left.